The whispering apartment. It started with a whisper the first night. Brian should have known better. The rent was too cheap. A downtown high-rise, newly renovated, utilities included, and no deposit. He practically sprinted to sign the lease. The manager, a pale man with yellowed eyes and bitten nails, seemed oddly relieved when Brian agreed. "Apartment 7B," the man muttered, sliding the key across the desk. "Don't change the locks." Brian laughed. "Why would I?" The manager didn't answer. The building was old. Newly painted walls couldn't hide the cracks beneath. Pipes groaned, elevators rattled, and the hall always smelled vaguely of mold and burnt hair. But Brian had been through worse. He unpacked, cracked open a beer, and collapsed on the couch. That night around 2:43 a.m., the whispering started. It was soft, almost pleasant, a lullaby without melody, like someone humming secrets into the drywall. He sat up in bed, heart pattering. It was coming from the wall behind his headboard. He pressed his ear to it. "Stay still." He jerked back so hard he almost fell off the bed. The voice was right there, gentle but firm, as though it lived inside the plaster. He didn't sleep again that night. By the third day, he was exhausted. Every night, the whispers returned. Sometimes they were incoherent murmurs. Other times, clear commands. "Don't open the window. Sit down when the lights flicker. Apologize for yesterday." When he obeyed, the apartment was quiet. When he didn't, he tried ignoring the command to leave the faucet dripping one night. He shut it off, annoyed. At 3:17 a.m., he awoke choking. The air in the apartment had thickened, like breathing tar. He stumbled, gasping toward the door, but it slammed shut in his face. Lights flared blood red. The walls trembled. Only when he opened the faucet again did everything stop. He sat on the bathroom floor until dawn, trembling. Brian stopped calling friends. They wouldn't understand. He even tried calling the building manager once. "Heard the walls yet?" the man rasped. Brian hung up. The commands grew more personal. "Burn the photograph of your mother. Cut your hand, just a little. Tell the neighbor he's unclean." When he didn't act fast enough, the apartment would shake. Whispers turned to screams. Once, the entire wall behind his couch bulged outward, as though something inside was pushing through. He started obeying. By week 3, Brian hadn't left the apartment in days. It wouldn't let him. Every time he touched the knob, the metal burned his skin. He was pale, sleepless, and whispering back to the walls. They liked that. One night, they made him lie flat on the floor for 6 hours. Another, they had him stand in the shower, fully clothed, chanting numbers until he forgot his own name. Still, he obeyed. It was easier than the punishments. Then came the worst command yet. "Bring someone inside." He resisted. For hours. No. The walls wailed. Sirens of pain. His lights shattered. The refrigerator door banged open and closed. Blood, not his seep from the bathroom drain. He screamed, cried, begged, but by morning the command was still there. Whispered now, over and over. "Bring someone inside." He called Emily. An ex-girlfriend. Someone kind. Someone who might still care. She came that evening, hesitant but smiling. "You sounded weird on the phone. Are you okay?" Brian forced a smile. "Yeah, just lonely. Needed to see someone." She stepped inside. The door shut behind her with a thud like a coffin lid. Emily noticed the apartment was cold. She asked about the broken lights, the warped walls. He shrugged. Old building. They sat on the couch. He tried not to shake. The whispering grew louder, angrier. They weren't patient anymore. "Seal the door." He stood, moved to the kitchen, pretending to grab water. Instead, he slid the deadbolt shut. The metal lock clicked. Emily frowned. "Brian?" He turned. "Don't let her leave." His hands moved without him. She screamed when he lunged. They fought hard. She bit him, clawed him, but he was stronger, desperate. Eventually, she lay still. The apartment went silent. For the first time in weeks, the silence was peaceful. Brian sat next to her body, dazed. A voice deeper than the others spoke from the floorboards. "Good. Now, you may rest." He slept for 3 days. When he woke, the body was gone. The apartment was clean. The lights worked. The walls were smooth again. No whispering, just silence. Brian laughed, cried, ate a full meal for the first time in a week. It was over until midnight. A new whisper, different, higher, familiar. He turned toward the wall. "Brian?" Emily's voice, a pause. "Let me out."